live. Can you guys see us and hear us?
Everybody hear us?
Hello. Anyone in the chat? Somebody say so. Oh, you know what? I gotta switch it to all messages too.
Yeah, me too.
I always forget that, man. It's crazy that you have to switch it every time. It always starts out with top messages.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. All right, I think it's done
Yeah.
now. Can you guys see us and hear us? It's delayed. I'm watching it on my computer over here, and it's a good 30 seconds delayed.
Chaos. What's up,
Let's go.
Chaos?
Fiasco, we were just talking, and yes, if you want to do your live this upcoming Sunday at 9 Central, we're in like Flint, man. I'm ready for you. I tried to go in your live today, but I was having some technical difficulties. I don't know if it was just the reception at my dad's. Hey, Mary. Hey, Northern Fishing. Hey, Main Girl. Hey, Retired Beard. Hey, Crazy Life. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Northern? Main girl. Thank you, guys.
Fishy Fingers Jackson. Woo! Starting her off about 10 minutes early, so maybe we could just engage with the chat for a few minutes. I know if, you know, people want to see the questions, we can wait till 9 on the questions. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't matter to me. Number
Yeah,
8.
yeah,
Main girl got number 8.
And if you want to email me your phone number, it's up to you. It's a lot easier for me to text the link to a phone than it is to send it through email because I suck with email. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, for stopping in. 14 people.
14 people. All right, I'm gonna start by gassing JR Buds up. JR Buds 909. In his description, it says, "Well, I'm just a dad of 3 wonderful kids. We love fishing and raising chickens. My son asked me to get him a golden play button. I'm going to try my best to get as close as I can. Yes, I know he's the real show and he outfishes me every time. Really just trying to make memories with them that they will never forget, just one cast at a time." So it seems like it's a very family oriented channel. He's got over 1,000 subscribers and over 150,000 views. He's doing real well. He hasn't even had his channel for a year yet, and he's just cruising, man. Absolutely cruising. Anything you
Super
want to add
excited.
to that?
Just started like at what, 5 months. But yeah, it's mainly fishing with my kids. I'm just trying to make the best out of like, I've got to work, so I just 1 day a week is all I get, really with the kids because my second day off is all yard work. So just
Right.
fishing, trying to get out there, and my son won't stop now. That kid is hooked.
That's how
He's
it
hooked.
starts, man. That's how it starts. I think it's the best addiction you can have, though. Really do.
Yeah, he's hooked.
You want to tell us a little bit about the name Junior Bugs 909? What do we need to know about that?
So I was probably about 15 years old. Me and my little brother's 5 years younger than me. So we wanted to start a company. We had, little kids sitting around talking, brothers talking, and we're like, we're gonna start a company one day, and we're gonna call it. What are we gonna call it? It was like just regular buddies. Like
Oh,
we're just
okay.
regular buddies. And we were gonna do t-shirts, we were gonna do like the lawn care business. We just had all these kid ideas. But then um once I started my t-shirt business about a year and a half ago, that's when I was like, you know what? I called my little brother. I was like, hey bro, like, can I use the name? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you don't remember when you were like 10 years old? We were sitting in Rialto, California, and we decided to start a company where we would cater to um like people on single like set incomes. We would
Right,
cater
right.
to them,
Yep.
like they can't afford a lot, but if we do a good job, we treat them correct, they will be constant. They will be constant. We'll be get referred to grandma, to aunt, and we just wanted to specifically cater to people with single incomes.
That's
So,
awesome, man.
and so I started that a couple years ago, and my little brother, he's following it. He gets in a lot of these guys' lives now. He's really been supporting it. So it's definitely, it was like a childhood dream. So, and
And now it's also a
uh,
fishing channel.
yeah, now it's a fishing channel.
It's
Yep.
awesome, man. That's very
So
cool, man. That's very cool. All
that's
right.
that's the truth behind the name.
I like it. I like it, man. I had a feeling that there was I think I had heard you talk about it before, so I wanted to get the story out
Yeah,
there again. For whoever's listening now, listening in the future. That's the
yeah, it's
evolution
like
of Junior Buds right there.
yeah, it was like 20 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. All right. So the big question we always start off with is tell us about your YouTube journey. Where did you first get the idea to start a fishing channel? How did you get to where you are today? Like, how did it evolve?
It's kind of funny because I kind of like people think I'm joking when I say it, and I go to college for business and management, so
Mhm.
that way I can run my business correctly. So I have a career counselor, and the career counselor was like, "Dude, you need to get real counseling. Like, you've got the kids, you've got
Yeah,
all of this stuff going on in your mind. You haven't, you don't really have very many people to talk to, because all my friends are either married, out of state, gone. I have one friend
yeah,
that's local, so I was like, all right, well, I watch like these YouTube guys that fish and stuff. And I was like, I kind of feel a little bit, like it helps clear my mind when I'm watching them
absolutely.
fish and stuff. And she's
Yeah,
like, well, guess what? YouTube is going to be your new therapy. And I kind of write it in some people's chat, like, "Hey, my therapist told me to get into this community to help my brain." And like, people think it's a joke, but no, it's the truth. So I started just watching, and
yeah,
then um, I watched Any Fins, and he
yeah.
was in his ice shack with his son, and I was like, that is a mate. Like, you're out there fishing with your kids. I was like, that's awesome, dude. Like, I really like to see that. And then real of life, I seen him out there fishing with his kids, and just I started seeing people fishing with their kids, and I was like, I think I could
There
do
it is.
this. I was like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like, my son's gonna have a vlog of him growing up fishing. I was like,
Right,
that's the worst thing that can happen is,
right,
that he's
right.
gonna have something to watch when he gets older. I was like, why not? So I just started hitting that live button. It took me a good like 2 weeks to get to 50 subscribers. So
Yeah,
I was just networking, networking. Hey, I'll subscribe to you. You subscribe back to me. Trying to go live. And so I hit the 50 subs, and then I was like nervous. I was like, oh god, oh
now I got
god. Now I got the 50 subs. What am I
you.
gonna do with it? My
Right.
my son, he came up to me and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get a golden play button." And I was like, "Boy, do you know how hard that is to get?" And he's like, "No, Dad, we're gonna get the golden one. We're gonna get the diamond one." He just named all the play buttons, and I was like, I'll try my best." I was like, "I'll try my best." And then
He's a
I just
dreamer.
keep, yeah, he's
I
great.
love it.
Oh man, like I said on the bio, he outfishes me.
Yeah.
That kid will come up to me all the time and he goes, "Dad, I like fishing more than you." I'm like, "What? Boy, I taught you everything you know. Like, get out of here with that." But yeah, he's hooked. He's hooked. That's what really pushed me though. Was him. He was like, "I'm ready, Dad." Like 5 years old, he was like, "Let's do this." Like, I
That's
want that
awesome.
golden play button. And I was like, we'll get there one day. If I don't
Right.
get it, you're gonna get it. Like, we'll build my channel. When you get old enough to start your own channel, we'll just continue it
So
on
he
your
could just
channel.
take over the channel, couldn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I told him. I said, we'll get you there one day. One day. It might take us some years, but we'll try. We'll try to
That's
get
so
it.
awesome. This is why I wanted to have you as a guest on Father's Day. You see the
Yeah,
connection, see it full circle? I knew it. I knew it.
yeah.
You was the right guest for Father's Day, guys.
Hey,
Feeling it.
see, I appreciate that. What you guys wrote right there, I appreciate that. The Nightbot comment.
Oh yes, yes. Emmykins programs Nightbot to say things specifically about some of my favorite subscribers and other YouTube fishermen that come in my lives and stuff. So she's done a lot of work programming Nightbot to say really nice things about a lot of people that are regulars in my chat. And that's pretty special,
That's
I think.
amazing. I read that and I was like, well, that's my new bio. And then I was like, no, I can't do that. I was like, let me write this up for reals and like, really actually care. Cause like at first when I first did the bio, I didn't really care. I was not really into it yet. And then it just like I hit that 200 subs and I got stuck for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks where I was just not moving a sub, not moving a comment. And I got like a little discouraged. And then everybody just like, stick with it. Skipjack helped me. She's like,
Yeah.
consistency and don't give up. And I
Yep.
was like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to give up. And then literally within 2 months, I grew 700 subscribers.
Wow.
And I was
It's
like, yeah, I'm not giving up. Like it's intuition. Like she said, don't give up, just keep pushing. It's gonna get worse, it's gonna get better. Just enjoy what you're doing. And I was like, you
yeah,
know what, she's right.
the key.
Like I started catching more fish on the live when I just started enjoying it. Like
Yep.
come back, I'll read them, blah, 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 and then I'll go play with the kids. Like I'll put the camera on me, digging a hole with the kids, whatever, just the normal stuff I would do. But it was hard because I was so concerned about like keeping the chat, and talking to
Yeah.
the chat. And it's like
Yeah.
not every channel is they're constantly on the chat. So I was
Right.
like, I'll just be one of those that interacts, but I'm more, you guys, I apologize. I got the kids, like,
Right.
I'm trying to play with the kids, enjoy fishing and record. So that's pretty much the journey to the end.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Obviously, a lot of us know this, but there may be people in the future that watch this, or there might even be people in the chat now that don't know. So, one of the questions I always ask is, where are you located, and what are the main bodies of water that you fish?
So I'm located in San Bernardino, California, which is Southern California. I'm probably about 2 hours north of San Diego and about an hour east of LA. So I'm kind of in the middle a little bit. Um, I grew up fishing. We have Silverwood Lake, we have Big Bear Lake, Lake Arrowhead, um, and Lake Gregory. Those are all mountain lakes. So I started growing up fishing the mountain lakes, and then I went up north. Well, that's
Explain
Apple
mountain lakes a
Valley.
little bit for people who might not know. Like, what kinds of fish do mountain lakes hold? Is it like a
Uh,
cold water, oxygenated? You know?
it's it's like a top of the mountain, just like a
Yeah.
crater kind of lake. Mainly it was like bluegill. I was young, so it's like bluegill, catfish during the summer, trout during the winter. So spring-ish,
Yeah.
that's when the trout. So it's and then later on down my life, once about 6 years ago, my friend, something he goes by the duck. He's in my life sometimes and all that. Is He's like my fishing brother, and
Right.
he's like, "Hey man, I used to go to this place called Santa Ana River Lakes," and I was like, "I don't even know what that is. Like, I have no idea." And he's like, "Just come out with me." Casted it out, caught my limit on trout, 5 trout in the whole day. So I was like, "Man, this is my spot."
Right.
So I used to fish like Lake Paris. Not too many lakes around here that I really like to fish because a lot of times, during the summer they're just packed with kids,
Yeah.
packed with families, and I kind of want to enjoy. I used to just want to sit there. I was that by myself guy, just
Yeah.
stay away from me, let me fish, let me do my thing, like, no, you can't ask questions. No, I didn't catch anything. Just leave me alone. But
Right.
now I'm better now, so I sit there and I talk to people while I'm fishing. I was young, 19, 20. and that was like when I started getting out on my own to fish. But
Okay.
I grew up. My first fishing experience was on the Colorado River,
Ooh,
so that was pretty nice.
what did you catch
Yeah.
there?
I caught a largemouth,
Oh,
and I
nice.
literally like I was on my dad's boat, and I like threw the line in, and like I was maybe 7, 8
Yeah.
years old, and I just reel it in, and I just see this fish just come up, boom, and just eat it, and I was like, "What do I do?" Like, uh, and it just started running, and I'm like 20, 30 feet out in the middle of the like lake, kind of the little cove that we had. And I did not know what I was doing. But that just bite, watching it bite underwater, it was over. It was
What's
over.
crazy about that? I feel like so even when you're real young, that first time you see a fish, get the lure, and you get the fish, like that excitement level. I'm 40 years old, man. It's still there. I'm still really excited to get a fish. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe not as intense as it was back then, but there's still an unbelievable excitement to that. There's just
yeah,
some kind of magic there, some sort of like primitive drive in us that just fish, man.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
doing something here.
absolutely.
I'm doing something here. I don't know. I love it.
I
I
just like
love it.
when you start hearing that drag screaming,
Oh my
man,
god.
just my
That
heart.
sound. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's like jumping out of a plane.
Mhm, and, like, and the
Man,
mystery, especially, like, when you don't see the fish, like, the mystery, that drag run, like, "Oh my god, what's on there? What's
yeah,
on
what
there?"
is it?
It's like,
What is it?
you
That
know?
still gets me every
You know?
time. That's like my I just wanna yank up on it, reel in, hear the drag scream, and then, "Alright, here you go, son." Like,
There you
let me just
go.
hear that drag for a second, let me get the little wiggles, and then, "Alright, here you go." I'll let him reel it in, but
Yeah,
give
yeah,
me that little tug.
right on, man. We kinda covered some of my first questions already there. Let's see, where are we at? So that largemouth, that was the first fish you ever caught then?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Alright. What was the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Um, at that time, I wasn't measuring, but I'm gonna say probably about a 2.5-foot salmon.
Okay. Very
So,
nice.
I could hold it at my waist, and it went down to, like, middle of my shin, kind of, down, like, maybe to my shoe, um, and that was up north. If, anybody watches Sky Blue Fishing,
Yep. Oh, I love blue.
that that's where I'll be moving to. In a year and a half, I'll be moving to Northern California, and
Right.
I moved up there, got on the salmon, and that's the biggest fish, but as for not salmon, it would be the trout that I caught 3 months ago, 8.5 pound trout.
It's
So
a
that was the
monster
big,
trout.
yeah, it was
That's
huge,
a monster.
huge. It's stock trout, but it still fought like a real fish.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
I mean, it is a real fish. Like,
I'll take it.
it's real. Just because it was
Yeah,
stocked doesn't really mean anything other than they had a different diet for a little while, you
yeah,
know. But it's in a real body of water and it's got gills and it swims and it's the real deal.
yeah. No, that was definitely the biggest. Like
Um,
besides salmon,
right. What are your favorite fish to catch?
trout,
Trout.
trout. I'm a trout guy. I
Is
just
there
absolutely
a
love
species
trout.
variant or just any trout? Like, does it have to be rainbows or do you go
Was
after brooks, sneakers?
I've only really done rainbow.
Yeah.
Even up north, there was, um, I guess we considered them salmon up there, but the steelhead, I think it's a
Mhm.
steelhead trout
Yeah.
technically. Um, but I caught those. I caught up north. I caught a couple brown, and I believe I didn't know it at the time. I thought they were just rainbows, but I guess cutthroat. Because I guess their gills are a little different. They're like red,
Yeah.
more red or something like that. So I didn't really know I was catching those at that time.
Yeah, I don't really honestly know all the technicalities. Like, I feel like a steelhead is a rainbow. It's just like if it gets really big, they call it a steelhead. I don't know. And then cutthroats, they all look like rainbows to me. I mean, when the pattern variance is different, that's when I think it's actually a different fish. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I'm like pretty much just trout. Like
Right.
mainly rainbow though. Rainbow's my biggest. That's my go-to fish
That's
for
your bread
sure.
and butter. All right. Is it also your favorite fish to eat?
Um, I like a variety, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I like tilapia.
Yeah.
Um, I like catfish. Gots to be fried though.
Yeah.
Fried catfish. Catfish nuggets are definitely up there. Uh, but trout, yeah, it's my most what I have the most experience in for sure.
Gotcha.
So that's why I pretty much even up north it was, little trout, well they get big, but it's just
Yeah.
little lakes with trout in them. Um, I've tried fishing bass before because of the previous experience, and
Sure.
I'm just not getting it. But I at that time I was like, cast it out. Okay, it didn't work. Cast it out. Okay, it didn't work. I'm done.
Right.
Like now I have the patience. I actually want to try doing more fish, like catching definitely a variety now.
Cool. All right. So trout's your go-to fish. Favorite fish to catch. Probably what you're best at catching. What's your best kind of setup, whether it be lure or bait? How do you rig up to catch trout?
For trout, I take trout bait. Just depend, the power bait, the little jars.
Mm-hmm.
At my lake, what works is we put a little bit, 1, 2 split shots, um, maybe about a 6-inch leader or so. Then I take the top of 2 mice tails, I thread them through the hook. So they'll be like hanging, he'll be the hook right here. They'll just sit right here. And then we take the hook and you put the trout bait and you roll it. So then it'll be like, it'll cover the whole hook, but it'll look like a worm. So it'll
Oh,
look more like wormish looking. And
gotcha.
you just slowly drag it. Where I fish, it's a man-made lake. So it's a settling pond for the river that we have goes down like all between the cities. So they just bring water in and then it settles and goes out. So there's no rocks, very little snags. So you just bump it off the bottom, just let that split shot just barely tap the bottom and they
Okay.
go crazy. They go crazy. As long as it's sitting up in the water column a little bit, they hit.
Okay.
You know.
So there's a similar technique a lot of guys in Wisconsin here use for walleye, except with just like jigging with like a worm or a minnow. They'll put the split shots on and kind of just jig it along the bottom like that until walleye hit it. So it sounds very very similar to that technique.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we got your favorite fish you ever caught. Is there like a dream fish that you'd like to catch someday, or is there like a bunch of them, or like
I've always wanted to get a big old flathead.
big
I'm
old
not
flat?
even joking.
Yeah,
A big old flathead, and definitely for the longest amount of time, like the flatheads came from you guys. Like I knew they existed.
yeah.
I knew what a flathead was, but I'd never really seen anybody catch it. So I was
Oh
like, once I seen you guys start catching these, big old mouth
no,
flatheads, I
I
was like,
still have not
oh my
technically caught a
god,
flathead this year. I'm gonna. I trust me. I will make videos. I'm gonna get one, but I like it's crazy because I've been the last week or two. I've been trying to get flatheads, and I just keep catching bigger and bigger channel cats. I catch these
yeah,
channel cats that are so
these
big
are
they look
big.
like flatheads. It's crazy, man. So
I know that smaller fish you got looked way bigger than the one that was just a little
one,
bit bigger than it. It was
yeah,
huge. I was like, that's way big, bro.
yeah, yeah. Wait, I need to start scaling them. I need to start doing weight. I think because
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. And the
definitely,
short I just put out, I when I tried to narrow it down with my lives and all the big catfish I caught in the last 2 days, and there was so many catfish, it was like 15 minutes of just showing off fish. I was like, well, that's not gonna work for a short. So I had to like narrow it down, cut it down, and speed up the time to just get like 4 cats in, you know?
Yeah.
But this
That's what
show
it's
is not
hard
about
to.
me. It's about you.
I
Yeah.
No, no,
Flathead.
it's about everyone. It's about. I know you're interviewing me, but it's good to hear little things that we don't get to hear. Like we're watching you too. Like, and then once you
Right.
start explaining things, it's like, oh, okay. Like it is because then when I go to try to do the kind of same thing, it's like, oh man, I remember Fishy saying, like you gotta cut them down. Like you'll have all these catches, and you just gotta like pinpoint certain ones. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Been letting my kids run the show.
Yeah.
I kind of stay. I'll do one little short of me reeling in a fish, but it'll be, the daughter netting, the son reeling it
Yeah.
in. Like I kind of backed up from being the head of the show and kind of let the kids,
It's
show
cool.
you guys. So,
I guess I'm too
but definitely,
greedy. I must be a narcissist. I'm making my show all about me.
yeah, no, no. When it's a big one,
No,
I'm
I
like,
try
no,
to make this
no,
show
no,
about
no.
the fish. My channel's Fishy Things. So like that's I'm always just trying to like get the fish in the shots. You know what I mean? I'm like, look at the fish, look at the fish.
But the other one is a sturgeon. Definitely a
Oh
sturgeon.
yeah.
So,
Man, I tell you what, you ever come to Wisconsin, I promise I'll get you on a sturgeon. But if you're gonna be moving up north with Blue, connect with Hurton for sturgeon. He gets those big white sturgeon out there, man. And I mean they're bigger than we have lake sturgeon here, and ours max out at like 200 pounds. The white sturgeon out west, up by where you're moving to, those can get to like 1,000 pounds. Those things are ridiculous. It's like one of the I think it's either maybe the first or like the second largest freshwater fish on earth. They're
okay.
great. Yeah, the white sturgeon, man, and they're only out
Mm,
west in North America. I forget the rivers that they're in, but it's in that area, the northwest
I
quadrant of the United
I
States.
definitely still
But
try.
if you come to Wisconsin, I can get you on like 100-pound lake sturgeon for sure. I've got some spots. Now, if anyone asks, though, we're targeting catfish.
Yep,
We accidentally catch a sturgeon. Well, you
happens.
know. But yeah, flat. I can't. I gotta get a flathead. I gotta get a flathead. I mean, I've gotten them before. Just I haven't got one yet this year. So it's like so up here. Kind of our three trophy fish. Well, four. Wisconsin's just really good fishing, man. We got all kinds of species here, man. It's crazy.
I don't know. That's what's
But
hard. It's like the lakes I fish at, it's like bass, trout,
yeah,
catfish, bluegill. We don't really have like a good variety because we just don't. There's not much here. Like I heard there's crappie in some areas. Like, yeah, I can go to the beach. Then there's a whole variety of fish there, but I have to be careful because the kids, like, the second they see other kids playing or something, they're gone. They're gone. They're running. They're running for it.
right.
And then I'm trying to juggle fishing rods, making sure they're playing right, and so I have to go somewhere where it's like no jungle gym, it's got to be a fishing lake only,
Right.
The second they see a jungle gym, it's over. I'm not fishing. Like, I might as
I
well
don't
kiss
know.
the day
I
goodbye.
don't know. Your son's getting pretty obsessed, man. He might be probably another year or two, and he's not going to pay attention to anything other than the bodies of water, man. I'm feeling it. Feeling it. That's how I
I know
was.
he went from watching the little like back in our like my days, Blues Clues and the cartoons and stuff. Now
Yeah.
all I see him watching is like all the famous YouTubers,
Right.
like Raw Family Fishing, it's like the kids that are always doing the fish traps and all of that stuff. He's just on it. He's like, have you ever heard of a gooch catfish, Dad? And I was like, what are
Oh,
you talking about? I was like, man, I gotta research this now. He's coming up with fish I don't even know, and he's like, he's just into it now. He's definitely on it. He's good.
I saw Jeremy Wade catch a gooch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, down in South America, I think it was. Yeah, it's they're like
yeah,
flathead times 10. They're
yeah.
crazy.
He's all. It's the biggest catfish, and I was like, I think it's the biggest catfish in like our like in the Americas, South America, North
Yeah,
America. But
yeah.
you got like the whales, catfish. Those things get huge.
So I believe the biggest is the Mekong catfish in China, I believe. And those things get like the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. They're ridiculous.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Like I don't even know how you could actually catch one on a rod and reel. Like you'd need a winch or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that thing.
Like a
You ain't moving that thing.
right. I mean, just some of the sturgeon I had hooked up here in Wisconsin. We don't even have the biggest sturgeon, but like they were dragging me into the river, man. Like we had this sandy beach, and I dug my heels in and was pulling back on the rod, and he drug me like with my feet planted, drug me through the sand into the river. I was like, "What is going on here?" So I can't even imagine just going even further
That's
with
what
that, getting even bigger fish, dude.
That's crazy. That's
Dude, yeah.
crazy.
When you get a big fish that feels like it's trying to pull you in the river with it, that's a whole nother level of fishing right there, dude. Like, you want to
Yeah.
talk about adrenaline, man? Like man versus nature. Like you feel it. Like you, like I couldn't sleep the whole next night because I was just jacked on adrenaline. Like, oh my god,
That's
just
mine. Yeah, I get like that adrenaline goes, and it's just crazy.
yeah, for sure. All right, I lost track. What was I talking about? Okay, so we did all the basic fish questions. We're on to the second round here. Do you have any fishing superstitions or like good luck charms or anything like that?
I don't. The only one I really stick to is um, I don't put my stringer in the water until I catch a fish.
Okay.
I feel like it probably has nothing to do with anything, but it's just I don't even take it out of the bag. I
Right.
leave it in the bag. I don't even look at it, until I get that first fish. Then
You
it's
don't
like,
want to
okay,
shoot them. The fishing gods would be like, "Oh yeah, you think so? You think you're
you
ready?"
think you're already gonna get one? Like, yeah. So I
Right.
don't know. I feel like it's not. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a superstition for sure.
Definitely.
I just
Gotcha.
don't take it out. And then it's like, daddy gets the first fish, son gets the second fish.
Okay.
I always, yeah, I get to take the first one, and then unless it's on his rod, if it's on his rod, his fish. You
Okay.
know, he, that's a guaranteed. Like he catches it on if first fish is on his rod, he gets to keep it. If it's on my rod, it's on me.
Well, yeah, because you got to catch that skunk breaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if that first one, you got to get it in so you can be like, okay, I can
We're
breathe
good.
now. We're not getting
Yeah,
skunked.
we're good. We're
We're
good.
good.
Yep.
Right.
That's how I'm like, I don't want you to lose this. Hold on. I'm like, let me just get it in, and then we're good. If we miss the rest of them tonight, we still got dinner. Right? We still got something to put in the freezer.
Right on, man. So yeah, and so the not taking the stringer out because that would be bad luck. Do you have anything that just brings you good luck? Yeah.
Um, Not so much. I just like to take. I really like. Oh crap! They're freaking out. Hold on, real quick. What's on?
Do you think, man? What's up, Britt? Everyone say hi to Britt.
Remember how I told you that I'm doing my
Thank you,
fishing
Blake the Shark.
interview? I'm doing my fishing interview. Remember?
What's up? Let me
Remember?
meet the real man. Let me meet the real star of the
Look,
show.
actually, you're the. He's a little upset. He just
Oh,
woke
okay.
up. But look, these are all the people that love you, Bubba. These are all the people that watch you. We've been talking about you most of the time. You want to talk to him? You want to say hi? You want to tell them that you appreciate them watching our YouTube? No, you're not gonna have it right now. Can you just tell them hi real quick? No. All right. Well, I got a little bit longer, so you can go play outside, or you can go back in. If you want to stay out here, you can stay out here. I don't mind you being out here.
I could do a tank tour if you want, Glacier Shark. You guys
We
some of my other
uh,
tanks real quick here.
we we can't go fishing today. We have to go fishing tomorrow
These are just
because
there's some regular bluegill I got in
it's
here.
already 7:30.
Some more bluegill in this tank. So I got a couple bluegill holding tanks here. And down here, we got a little guppy tank in order to feed the bluegill. And right here, we got a little shiner tank here. And actually, oh, you see him? There's a perch right there. Oh, don't run from the camera, perch. There's also some crappie hiding around in here. Yeah, this is the real view of these are my bait holder tanks. That's the backside of chumming it up with Fishy right there. Perch, let's. Oh, there's a crappie. There's Mr. Crappie. There he is. A little crappie in there. There's Mr. Perch. All right.
All
I
right,
stalled
sorry
by showing
guys.
them all my bait tanks.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
I apologize, guys. Kids are
No big
going.
deal.
It's dinner time and bath time, so they're all going crazy.
I'm sorry, man. Am I messing everything up?
Nah, we're good. It's all good.
Yeah. Let's see. We got through superstitions, greenfish. Do you have any unbelievable fishing stories? Like anything crazy that happened when you're fishing, or just like you won't believe this?
Um, hmm. It wasn't on my rod, but up north when we were fishing for salmon, um, one of my best friends, he got a salmon, was reeling it in. The hook popped out. We didn't know what happened, so the hook popped out. We looked, and I guess they're called lampreys or something like
Oh
that. They
yeah.
like stick on the salmon.
Yep.
Whatever, it came out of the salmon's mouth, like because the hook was in its mouth. So I don't know if he hooked the lamprey and the salmon ate the lamprey or whatever. I don't know how it happened, but there was this big old lamprey, 6-inch lamprey, just
Things are
stuck
so creepy.
solid to the hook. And it's like, we went and told his dad and everything. He was like, they don't eat those things, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'd never, like, I thought it was like its throat or something. Like, we ripped its throat out. I didn't know what it was until, like, people started telling us, like, no, those are the things that, like, stick on the salmon and stuff. And I was like, oh, that thing looked horrible. It had, like, teeth and, like, all of that stuff. It looked
They're
like a
like something out of a horror movie. They are creepy creatures
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
a crazy eel with like teeth and stuff, and like he didn't really believe us that's how it happened. Like we're like, no, like we're underneath the bridge at the spot, and it he threw it out, got it, and he pulled up on it, and it just right on the shore. And I didn't know. I'd never seen one of those before. Like I was fairly new to salmon fishing. I didn't, never tried it before. So I was like, what is this? We were all like, what is this? We were like
And
20 years old or so, we didn't really, it was just the thing to do. Everybody goes fishing up there, up where Sky
right.
Blue's at. It's just
Yeah.
weekends or everybody's out fishing.
It's like
Everybody.
freezing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like, not the I don't really have too many crazy, crazy stories, but that's probably was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Definitely while fishing was definitely that. And then
I've
at
actually
Santa
never
Ana,
seen a
oh,
lamprey other than like on TV or YouTube or whatever. I've never seen one.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
in real
it
life.
was strange. And then about 2 years ago, I was fishing and we're doing fishing for trout. This pelican flew down, and the guy next to me the pelican grabbed the guy's stringer, grabbed the
Yeah.
fish, and flew up, and it just ripped that pelican right back to the water. Like boom, like it pulled the fish, and once the stringer tightened up, that
Yeah.
pelican just hit the water, and that was
Oh,
probably like one of the most funniest things I've ever seen.
dude, I don't remember what kind of bird it was, but I use a lot of like live bait, like whole bluegill, big suckers, and stuff like that when I'm fishing. And I had like a big live fish on a hook that I was casting out, and I cast out mid-air. Some bird swooped and grabbed the fish on the hook and tried to fly away with it. I was reeling in a bird from the sky on a fishing pole, dude. It was crazy. The bird
I
eventually
got
let go of the fish, but it fought for a good 5 to 10 seconds. I was like, I'm catching fish out of the sky. Like, what's going on? It was
yeah,
crazy.
I got spooled by a pelican before.
Oh,
Cast it
really?
out, and the pelican was just flying by right at the same time, and my line just laid right over it. It got stuck like on it, and it just spooled me. It just there was no stopping it. All right, I just opened the
Uh,
bail, and I was like, "Go ahead."
I caught a bat once when I was night fishing for catfish, and I just had a worm on, I think, and I cast out, and a bat. I don't know if it just got tangled in the line or if it was actually going for the worm, but like I thought I had a big fish because my bell was jingling. It was dark out. I couldn't see stuff. And I reeled it in. I was like, what? It's like not even in the water. What's going on? Like I thought I was losing my mind, right? Because like the feeling of a fish in the water fighting back. Like this wasn't
Yeah,
that feeling. It's like there's something fighting, but it's not in the water. Like,
yeah,
what am I
it's not a
reeling in
fish.
about? I got it to shore, and it was a bat, dude. I had a bat on the end of my hook. I was like, what the? Oh my god! I was like
That would be
searching for
great.
gloves and sticks and stuff because I didn't even want to touch it. I was like, it's gonna give me rabies or something. It's crazy,
Bite me,
right?
bite me.
But I got it off the hook and it flew away. And yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Non fish catching non fish while you're fishing is definitely a
yeah,
weird feeling. And
yeah.
the
That's
back,
pretty much the bat's crazy. The bat's crazy.
right?
That's pretty awesome.
But yeah, there are some spots up here where there's like a lot of bats. And after a while, after enough night fishing, I figured out like a lot of the times, because like I think when they send out their little sonar thing, if you've got like fishing lines kind of in the air at all, you know, that like they think that's like bugs or something in there because they'll keep flying into the lines and your bells will jingle a little bit every once in a while, and you're like, yep, that's bats, that's just bats. You know? So it's
Yeah,
actually not that uncommon, but catching one that was pretty uncommon.
yeah. It's pretty cool. I can open the door real quick. Go.
Do you have
1 second.
any? Yep.
Go, go, go.
If the chat wants to start putting some questions in for JR Buds, we can pin those. Keep
Hurting for
track of that.
sturgeon.
About to get to that section.
We're talking about you hurting for sturgeon just not too
Yeah,
long ago.
JR Buds is going to be moving up to your area. You got to take in sturgeon fishing, man. Got to get
I
it
can't.
done. You
I'm
and
on the
Blue.
interview.
JR
He's
Buds, hurting for sturgeon, and Sky Blue fishing. You guys should collab because you guys will all be in kind of the same area, the Pacific Northwest over there. That'd be super
yeah,
cool. One of my dreams is to go out west and fish with hurting for sturgeon. I want to catch a white sturgeon real bad. Uh,
sorry.
it's all good. Anthony wants to know when did you start fishing at? I believe he said he was like 7. Like the first fish he
Yeah,
caught largemouth bass.
about
He started
7.
fishing like mountain lakes, stuff like that. Or actually, no, he originally started fishing the Colorado River, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
That was like our family vacation. So like we didn't go to like Six Flags or anything. We used to just go out to the Colorado River, spend the week camping. So that's pretty much where I started fishing was Colorado River.
Orp wants to know who was the best person you ever collabed with. Fishy
The
things,
only
right?
well, collabing or fishing right next to each other. The only person I've ever fished right next to that has their own YouTube channel, and that's Orp. That's
There you
Orp.
have it.
That's the
There
only
you have
person I've collabed with, and it's been great. No, it cleared. There was a lot of like drama, confusion, whatever it was going
Yeah.
on at that time. People didn't think Orp was a real person. They thought he was, you know. So I was like, bro, let's go fishing.
Well, he
Let's
did
prove to
change his
be
name a lot at first, didn't he? Didn't he like he was a couple different Orps for a while? I was a little confused for a minute, but then he
yeah,
finally came to Saving Private Orp and stuck with it.
I was like, oh, let's let me put this to
Take
rest,
it easy, Grease.
Oh yeah. I was like, let's put it to rest. I was like, bro, you're not too far from me. Let me know when you want to collab, and then he ended up coming out for my birthday. That was our first collab was on my birthday. So I
Yep.
really appreciate him coming out. Um, because like I said, all my friends moved away. Like I have one friend. So I had, my cousin with me, I had my family, but Orp was like that was my friend, that was my buddy to be able to fish with. So it was really cool. And on my birthday, it was great.
Um, Anthony wants you to give him some bait ideas for fishing. I mean, what kind of fish do you want to catch, Anthony? What kind of
But
bodies of water you got?
because Anthony, I really only fish for trout. Like I've kind of been saying, I'm a trout guy. So you got questions on how to fish, trout on a stocked lake because it's a little it's a little different, stocked versus wild trout. They act a little different. So,
Yeah.
but I'm just getting into the catfish. But trout, I've always just used make sure it's suspended. That's the biggest thing that I've learned for trout is they do not like it on the floor. What's up, Feathered Father? That's my coworker. Hey, everyone,
Okay.
Feathered Father.
How you doing,
So,
Feathered
but
Father?
yeah, just at my lake, at least it's keeping it suspended, keeping that trout bait worm looking thing at least 6 inches off the ground. So that's probably my
Yes.
best to bet.
Want to know if you have any tips for fishing flies on a spinner? Fishing flies on a spinning reel.
Fishing tips for fishing flies. No, I have none. I don't really use flies. I tried fly fishing, let's just say 4 years ago, and I just couldn't get the hang of it. So I just went back to what I knew, which is fishing for trout. So
Right
I
on,
wish,
Anthony.
I wish Miss Lee, he's got a little attitude right now.
Yeah.
Cookie, you
The,
ready to say hi
the
yet?
star is not in the mood right now.
Yeah. Mini JR's, he's a little upset.
Um, do you now, or have you ever had any pet fish or aquariums with fish? You get into
Um,
that at all?
It looks really horrible. I don't really want to show you guys. But I used to have a pond, and these fish came out of the pond, so they don't have a filter. They don't have,
Okay.
but that's about a 8 inch or about a foot long now. Koi in there. Um, there's my cat. But these are my sons. I bought them as feeder fish, and then the
Oh,
little red slider.
nice.
I'm cleaning his aquarium. I didn't get to finish it today. But for
Very
fish,
nice.
I'm a catfish guy. Red tails, tiger shovel nose, um, into eels. I used to have an eel tank. I used to have a
Oh,
catfish
wow.
tank. I'm really big into the like tiger shovel nose hybrids, red
Oh,
tail, fire eels, tire track eels, peacock eels. Um, I just kind of pulled back because I'm really into the chickens right now. So
right.
it's chickens and kids
Hey,
and
tell us a little
fish
about
and
chickens.
like yeah, I got too many chickens now.
Yeah, too
I
many
got too
chickens.
many. I got ducks, chickens. I got it. Well, they're not up sleeping yet, but that's where they sleep. Right on
Oh,
the this little thing right here. There's one. That's my mini rooster right there.
very nice. Very nice.
But if you ever, if anybody's ever heard of It's a Ame Samani, which they come from Indonesia, and they're a black. They have black meat. So
Oh wow.
these are all the babies. I'm always incubating. So these are Turkins. So these don't have any feathers on their neck. It's hard to tell, but these you can, if it'll focus, you can see how like it's black right there, like on
Yeah.
the skin. So these have black hearts, black bones, black skin, black meat. They're 100% black.
Wow. Does it
This
taste
is
different
my.
from other chicken, or does it taste the same?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna find out though.
All right. All right.
These are quail. I breed quail. I breed like the little miniature chicken. No, baby duck.
Nice.
More
Love them.
babies in here. So I pretty much breed to sell. So I breed chickens to pretty much put them on the market, as a second income.
Nice. You make pretty decent profit that from that.
From the black chickens, 2 week olds are $50 starting.
Oh, okay.
So like anybody in chat can go, and if they go and type world's most expensive chicken, that's the one that I carry. And if you can get a show quality rooster and a show quality hen, just a pair, they can go from anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 for the pair.
I might
But they
have to
got to
be a
be
chicken
show
trader.
quality. Yeah, no, all right. I've already probably dumped in about 700 just
Okay.
on that breed alone. So it does take a little bit to get started with the breed, but it makes it really fast. It makes the profit fast. Like right now, I have about 45 eggs in the incubator. So, if I have 45, stop, Bubba. Stop. Oh, can you say hi? Can you say hi, please? He's mad still.
No big deal.
If the money's there, if everything comes out right, the money's there. It's super
Right.
easy to raise chickens, especially if you just want to do it for your family to have eggs.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's so easy. They don't need a lot of room. They just need enough. A little bit of room is good.
Okay. If I ever get move out of the city, I'd definitely be interested in that. I don't think my city will let me have chickens out here, but maybe I could have them in the basement. But I don't think my wife would like that.
I got it. It's up, Redmond. Yeah, chickens are like my secondary part to my channel. So it's fishing and like raising the chicken, showing people how to incubate, answering questions. I just haven't really got into that half yet. I put up little videos, but it's just, I want to focus on one before
Yeah.
I try to branch out into 10 different things.
You could even consider maybe making a second make two channels too. Just an idea. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know anything about YouTube really, but
I'm thinking about
I've heard
starting to
that you
do.
want to be niche. You know what I mean?
No, you can't get the fish out of the fish tank. Catch a fish tomorrow. Okay, okay, go. He's like, Dad, can we go fishing? I'm like, son, we can't go fishing right now. Like, we're going fishing tomorrow. Like,
I feel him. I feel him. Like I didn't. I think I didn't go. No, I would be lying. I went fishing this morning. I just didn't go fishing on YouTube. I went to
oh
go catch some bait. So gotta keep the
yeah,
bait tank stocked. That's all. Because I used to
I wish I
when I
could go
was
every
fishing.
day. I wish. That's
I
that's the
think I
goal
do.
one day.
I mean, I don't
Uh,
go for like a long time every day, but I usually get out at least an hour or two every day. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. I
You know,
want to go full YouTube eventually. you know,
Right.
if I could get there. It's all depends on how it works out. But I figure with, once I get really rolling, which I'll want to do like Monday is my fishing live, Wednesday is going to be like my chicken live,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
Friday mornings I want to start doing where I actually like, let's just say for you order t-shirts from me.
Right.
Friday I'll actually show you the process. I'll
Okay.
go through the whole entire process on live. So that way the people can watch their product being made. So,
But
but that's not going to
it's
be for later. That's going to be way later.
right, for sure. Yeah, I'm still trying. Like, I have more ideas that I want to incorporate, and I already feel like my plate's too full. Like, dang, I got more ideas, more stuff I want to add to my channel, but I'm already like really busy just trying to
Yeah.
maintain what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have like a normal human life too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard. My opinion, that's the hardest part is juggling YouTube and your real life.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's trying to go back and forth. It gets pretty hectic.
it does for sure.
Especially my kids are going to be starting school this year, so it's going to be like, when am I going to be able to fish now? Because he's going to want to go. He's not going to let me go without him. So now I'm going to have to switch my days off for work so to be able to
Hey,
fish with him. So, but
what's up,
we're gonna
Mickey
keep it
Ren?
going. So I don't know. You had it over there.
All right, so let's see here. We got any more questions from the chat? Has anyone got more questions for Junior Buds? I'm almost out of questions, I do
Yeah,
believe. I do have so do you have any recommendations, any people that you think would like to do coming it up with Fishy? Is there any channels you want to recommend that I reach out to and ask if they'll do chumming it up with Fishy?
well, you already got Chaos Goat.
Yep.
Um, Probably Redmond. I really like Redmond, Oregon.
Oh,
Um,
he's right there. Redmond, do you want to do
yeah,
an
yeah.
episode of chumming it up with Fishy?
I think Redmond's he's a super chill guy. He's got the same thing going on where he's got a job. He goes fishing. I
Oh yeah,
watch him religiously.
I did pin Anthony's question from a little while ago. Says JR Buds, if you tell someone that is a beginner of fishing, can you give them ideas to start off with?
Um, Probably
Thank
to
you.
start small. You start smaller, start getting on the bluegill, start getting on, the little panfish, because it's a different feel,
Hmm.
like you gotta feel them like suck the bait in, and like you
Yeah,
can't just rip it, you can't just set the hook like a maniac, because sometimes the mouth isn't hard enough or whatever. But I'd say start small.
fat cat. And
Start
I'll say
small.
this: for a lot of my styles of fishing, like when I'm targeting, catfish or pike or muskie or even bass, it's really, really helpful to know and kind of be a master at catching bluegill. One, because I use them for bait, right? So I need to be able to catch them pretty efficiently, pretty often. Two, everything's eating them, right? So if you can catch the bait fish, if you know the bait fish patterns and stuff, you know where the predators are going to eat them
Yeah,
too. You know what I mean? So you kind of understand the whole dynamic of it. And
yeah.
so starting off small, starting with your basic panfish, is really, really good for a beginner. It really opens the doors to everything else. So I would
Yeah,
agree 110%.
it's just a lot of I get a lot of people that are like, hey, I'm new to fishing, what, like, how is it? And I'm like, look, don't get so ahead of yourself. You're
Right.
not gonna catch a 50-pounder your first cast. Just
Right.
that's a who's leaving.
Take care,
Oh yeah.
Cass.
All right, Chaos. Thank you, Chaos, for stopping in. But yeah, definitely it's still in the same thing, start small, like, and just enjoy. Because
Yeah,
to me, that's the biggest thing about fishing is the enjoyment. You
Yep.
know, if you start getting too on, like, I need to catch a fish. I need to catch a fish. Well, then they would have called it catching, not fishing. That old saying. But it is that just patience too.
It's true. Yep.
You got to be patient. Don't think you're gonna catch the entire lake. If you can catch one, that's good enough. Like I know it's always better to catch more. Don't get me wrong. It's always better to catch a lot. But hey, you can get that skunk off the board.
Yep.
You're doing something right. You're doing something right.
Facts. Couldn't agree more.
All right. No problem.
Do you have any shout outs you want to do? You got anything coming up that you want to let people know about your channel? You've got the
Just uh
giveaway, right? You're doing a giveaway.
just yeah, just a giveaway.
What do
Anybody
you
can
do?
comment on the short. I'm doing what is it, the Garce Abu or whatever it is. Garce here, let me grab the giveaway.
What's the name of the short that people got to comment on?
So this is the giveaway, brand new. Still got the zip tie on it. It's hard to see, but it's a 6'6" bait caster. It's the it's upside down, but it's the Black Max. So this will be the 500 sub giveaway, and then, like I said, I want to do a creators giveaway. So that hasn't really been announced yet, but I guess I'll announce it on here. Is I do want to do a creator only giveaway because I feel like I super appreciate the supporters, but us out here that are real that are you're showing support too, where I want to make sure that us as a group, know that like we're appreciated too. Like I know everybody does appreciate us, but I want to do a specific creators only, which will be um some custom shirt or custom thermos or something when I get my new machine.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole package deal of stickers, sweater, t-shirt, something that they can wear. Like, and they can even now. Then I'll have their logo, and it'll be so much easier just to print their stuff out, anyways. So
Right.
they'll be like the little sneak preview to what's coming. You know.
Right on,
'Cause
man.
I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of the what? No, it's not dead. He said, "Is one of my fish dead?" I'm like, "No." But yeah, I definitely want to do something like that. That's upcoming, maybe in the next month.
Right on, man. Right on. So keep an eye out for the creators giveaway. I think that's awesome, man. Like, and I don't really view it as like a competition. I feel like I say it all the time. Like, let's grow together. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, there's more than enough people out there, and it's like we're all gonna have different schedules. Yeah, we might overlap sometimes and whatever,
yeah,
but it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's there's more than enough to go around, and I feel like
yeah,
as the fishing community supports each other, we'll all grow together.
yeah,
Who knows? Like 5, 10 years from now or whatever, like we could be the group on YouTube. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we're the guys. Who knows? It's just
yeah, definitely.
it's good to have the community either way. You know.
Yeah, I just want to show support back. I really want to, because I didn't, yeah, I ran my YouTube channel, but the community that we are in, they made my YouTube channel.
Right.
You know,
Totally.
they push me, they drive me, I see these people coming in and like, like your guys' little thing, like you think it's just a little simple right thing, but it hits the heart, like being a dad is really like my goal in life. is to be the best father that I could be. So like when people are like, "Bro, you are a great dad." Like a lot of people were like, "You deserve this interview. To be
Yeah.
on Father's Day interview, you deserve it." And I was like, "No, man, any fan, he fishes with his kid, real of life, like I named all these guys that fish with their kids, and they're like, you're the only one I ever see 100% of the time with your kids." And I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah.
it. I can't deny that, like, oh,
Yeah,
you know
no, it
what?
wasn't an
Fine.
incident. When I realized it was Father's Day, I was like, well, actually, when I was talking to you about interviewing you, and then I was looking at the open availability that I had on the calendar, and I saw Father's Day, instantly I was like, dude, can you do Father's Day? Like, you would be a perfect guest for Father's Day. And after doing the interview now, I think it was absolutely the right call, man. Especially, all the stuff you said at the beginning, and it's just like, yeah, dude, 100%.
I
And then your
really,
channel description and everything, dude. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I really appreciate it. It makes me push harder. It makes because we all have our issues. That's why, like, most of the time when you were doing your chummies, I always ask people what motivates you, what keeps you
right,
going, is
right.
because that's what I need. Like I
Yeah.
get discouraged. I get like, oh
Oh,
no, no, like it's not that big a deal, and it's like, no, I need that occasional, ego boost, like, no,
yeah,
bro, you are a good father. All
yep.
right. Too many people have said that I'm a good enough father. It's got to be true enough to believe, So like
Well,
these
it's
things,
kind of this
I
full
appreciate
circle
it.
thing where it's like if people are saying that to you, now you gotta be it to live up to what they're
Mhm.
saying about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's full circle. They're saying it because they see it, but then when you hear it, you got to make it true. You got to make it
yeah,
continue to be true.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like
That's how
that.
I was like, it's just every time somebody gives me a compliment and stuff, I really take it to heart. Like that's what motivates me to keep going. Is the kids and you guys. Like you guys just saying, don't give up. That's the biggest. If anybody wants advice on YouTube, don't give up. Don't give up. You might only get one subscriber this week, one next week, one the week after, but there's gonna be a day that comes that's gonna validate the whole entire experience, and it's like it just, my son, like him saying, like, I was like, Papa, we got 500 subscribers. And he was ecstatic. He thought we were going to get a play button. And he was just going off, like, we really did it. We did it. We did it. And I was like, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep
Yeah,
going, like, and then everybody's like, JR, you are growing crazy. You are like absolutely growing fast. Like, not many people I've seen grow that fast. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just
you're
I'm just
just
doing
real,
what I'm
man.
doing.
You're just real.
And
You're authentic. You're real. You're a good person. People see it. And they're like, yeah, I want to support this guy. I like what he's doing. You know what I mean? Because like, I think a lot of it is the community aspect of it. So in 2025, we're in this kind of digital world where like kind of old school villages and communities aren't as strong as they used to be. You know what I mean? And everything's kind of digital now. So I think there's a lot of people kind of looking for what our ancestors found in their village online, if that makes any sense at all. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so it's just like I want my community, my cyber village, to be good, genuine people. And you're a good, genuine dude. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, I'm in. He's part of my tribe. He's part of my village now. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
That,
that, man.
that's kind of my thought on it, anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like to keep um the more relaxed, the more chill people. And then, but I ain't saying I ain't got the wild side. Like I'm gonna make another YouTube, and it's gonna be my table talk, but I don't want that to, cross contaminate my fishing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it is gonna be a little, it's gonna be a little crazier. It's gonna be a little like, out there, and I don't want it's a cross, because I want to be my fishing channel is respect, you know, family, respect, just like you said, genuine, just being honest, being dedicated to something. And then my table talk one, it'll just be that let's go trolls, bring it in. I don't care, like let's talk crap. I don't care, like
Right.
I'll talk crap back, but I don't want it to cloud my fishing channel, I don't want the people think I'm wild all the time, So I didn't want to like, cross contaminate pretty much is what I
Fair
call it.
enough. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, there'll be other channels. I want to start a channel for my son, and just have just strictly his shorts, But besides that, just keep going. I'm just gonna keep on like your little thing says, one cast at a time.
Yeah.
Gonna keep casting one at a time, throwing up, pressing that go live button, let it
Do
play.
it. Keep doing it.
Play.
Heck yeah, man. I think this has been a great interview. Thank you so much, JR.
I
Uh,
appreciate it.
we hit we're over the 1 hour mark. That's kind of my goal for this. If there's anything else you want to say, or if anyone else has got any more questions, I'm through with all my questions. Anyone got anything left for JR?
Any other questions? I appreciate everyone that sticks on my lives, though. You guys, you make me keep going. My loyals, I even the ones that just come in and just comment and bounce and leave the live. Every single one of them, I appreciate. It really it means more than just coming in and saying hi. Like I want to make sure everybody knows that. Like it's seen. I see the little happy faces. I see the little comments. It might not be right there, but I do rewatch. I do rewatch my own lives with the comments on. That way I can, see if I missed anything that, somebody said important. That way I can address it later. But I do appreciate everyone that helped me grow, everyone that just growing with me. It's definitely appreciated. I know
Thank
we've
you,
got
bro.
questions. I just wanted to make sure
Flame.
that what was it?
I was just saying hi and thank you to people. Flames popped in.
Oh yeah,
Dorothy,
plain.
it's awesome.
Smurfy, I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you, Flames.
Thank you,
Well,
Flames. Yep.
I think we're gonna call it a wrap.
All
Everyone
right.
good? Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Junior Buds.
No problem.
Um, I will say, I will premise. I'm plotting another show with a group panel. It's in the works, so keep a lookout for that. I'll be in contact with you some more.
All right. Count me in. If you do it,
All right,
I'm open. I'm
sounds
open to
awesome.
it.
All right, y'all take care.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone.
We'll catch you later.